Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson, and I'm back again today with another 12 trades. Today's date is October the 5th. And as usual, you can see that the futures down at the bottom here, they're the ones that are paying the most. And I am using my new Super Trader system. Love it, makes trading easy and a lot of fun on a daily basis. Now I did take all the trades between approximately 7:30 and 8 a.m. New York time, and I closed them all out close to 10 New York time, so approximately 2 hours and a little bit. I am trading today. I try to be done trading between 9 and 10 in the morning. Now, I highly recommend you do what I do on a daily basis, that is drilling down the lights from the higher time frames so that you are at least going in the direction of the trend. I show exactly how to do that within the training videos. Now this Russell here, I made an error on it and turned into a loss. I had my stop a little bit too tight, but I was going in the right direction. And this would have turned into a huge winner if it didn't hit my stop. So now we can run a check on that. After I drilled down the lights, I knew I was buying. There's the ups, the up arrow. Let's drag and drop this up, see where I got in at. Had my stop a little bit too tight and it did hit it. It did this spiking, and keep in mind that futures, 10 pips will never hold. It just moves too much. But if it didn't hit my stop, well, I would have made a lot more money. But I took the trade here. Now I did take a loss. Went down, look at how much it went up. It was in my favor. Looks like it went about 20 pips there, as I had my stop too tight, and I lost 20 pips, or I lost $2,000. It did qualify for a great way to trade, and the system was also saying to buy the super trend and the blue boxes. So everything was perfect except of that slight error I made, a little bit too tight to stop. Anyhow, on the next one, pound yen, let's see what happened on that one. Another good example of a great way to trade. The system said to buy, blue boxes, drill down the lights, higher time frames telling me it's going up. When I pull the trigger, I'm 95% sure I've got a winner. Took the trade here, went a little bit against me, not a big deal. 15 pips, could have made a lot more. But all I do is I keep an eye at the bottom. And when I feel like I got 100 or more pips, and lately it's been more than 200, I would even say that this is closer to 300 today. We'll get a total at the end of this video. Ended up with 10 pips. And those 10 pips that I ended up with paid out $987. Moving on to the next trade, pound Swiss. Again, qualified for a great way to trade. The system, boxes, everything, including the higher time frames, was telling me to buy. So that's exactly what I did. Did do a bit of a pullback. Again, not a big deal, of about 12 pips. And I closed it out. Again, looks like this one with 10 pips. And 10 pips on the pound Swiss paid $1,077. Moving on to the next trade, Euro Aussie. Another one qualified for a great way to trade. And the system, everything was saying to sell. Higher time frames included. Let's drag and drop this up, see where I got in at, right on this candle here. Everything's looking pretty good down at the bottom. Took the trade, went against me 2 pips, And I closed out just being happy, looks like with 16 pips, and those 16 pips on the Euro Aussie paid $1,164. Moving on to this futures, the S&P 500. Higher time frames, saying buy, there's the arrow, qualified for a great way to trade, the system, everything is blue. So it's a go for buying. Took the trade at this cursor, did go against me 14 pips, and I ended up with, let's see, 23 pips, and 23 pips on the S&P paid $1,250. And as you can see, I put in plenty of trades because I never know which one is going to move, and you have to get into the practice of doing that also. Nothing worse than hanging around for 3 hours for 5 pips. But if you do a bunch of trades, then for sure some of them are going to turn into fantastic trades. And that's the main reason why I do, generally as a rule, more than 3 trades at a time. So let's, moving on to the next pair, dollar CAD. This one I sold. System, boxes, everything screaming, lots of red down at the bottom. Quite simple decision to make, including the higher time frames. There was a slight pullback. Went against me about 11 pips, and I closed it out just being happy. Looks like with 19 pips and 19 pips on the dollar CAD paid $1,511. Moving on to the 30-year bonds. This one I sold. Qualified for a great way to trade. System, boxes, higher time frames. Everything was screaming sell. So that's exactly what I did. Did a bit of a pullback, 23 pips, not a big deal. Remember these, some of these future pairs, 10, 20 pips will definitely not hold more often than not. Ended up locking in 37 pips. And 37 pips on the 30-year bonds paid $1,850. Moving on to the Dow Jones. Perfect example of a great way to trade along with the system. Blue super trend, blue boxes. Doing so many trades, sometimes it's hard to follow all these trades. Okay, let's see where I got in at. Pulled the trigger here on the Dow, went against me a bit. Not a big deal. It's a good example of how this can easily jump around. It's like about 120 pips. I ended up with, looks like 40 pips here, and 40 pips on the Dow paid $2,000. Okay, moving on to the next trade, the Euro CAD. The system, higher time frames. Box is everything red. Definitely we're selling. Let's see where we got in at. Went sideways for a little bit, but not a big deal. Only went 7 pips against me, and it finally kicked in, giving me 30 pips. And 30 pips on the Euro CAD paid $2,386. Okay, moving on to the next instrument. Gold. Here's the gold trade. I wanted to point out that gold is affected by the US dollar. So as a general rule, if the dollar is weak, it'll go up like the way it is now. See, the USD is a bus driver, along with the yen. They're both bus drivers. Remember, 20% or less is a bus driver. Just to let you know that this gold goes up and down like a lot. And on the smaller time frames, you can I don't want to call it scalping because it's so much, but you can trade the cycles quite easily. And I actually do give you a lot of tips and tricks within the training videos on how to trade. Let's see, gold. Let's see where I got in at. Right here. I did sell it. I knew it was going to go down. I ended up receiving, looks like about 45 pips. Let me get it right centered here. It's hard to get it sometimes right on. 44. You know, close enough. 44 pips on gold. Paid out $4,350. And qualified for a great way to trade. And as it was going down, obviously, I had at least one more red box. Okay, moving on to crude oil. This one was a much smoother move. System, boxes, qualified for a great way to trade, higher time frames, everything screaming to buy. I knew at least 95% certainty I had a nice winner here. Wished I got in a little bit quicker, but still paid out quite well. Ended up, didn't even go one pip against me, locking in somewhere about 60 pips. And 60 pips on the crude oil paid $6,100. Let's move right along to the last one. NASDAQ. This one here is a wild one, and it pays out double the amount of money compared to oil and gold. $20 a pip, so it really moves. So the higher time frames did qualify for a great way to trade. Let's see, got the blue boxes. Everything I can think of is saying to buy, so that's exactly what I did. Bought it. Didn't go too much against me, but even a little bit like that is quite a bit. And I could have made a fortune, or minimum a lot more than what I did make. And just to let you know, once you master trading, if you just focus on NASDAQ, you can make a killing every day. This thing just moves. And it looks like 35, close enough. So many digits here, you know, holy cow. Anyhow, let's go with 35. Remember, 35 times 2 is 70. So that just about works out right, 70. So those 35 pips paid out $7,160. So another great day of trading using my Super Trader system. Today's pip totals came to 304, and those 304 pips paid out $27,838. So if your system is not producing on a daily basis like my Super Trader, I recommend you getting your hands on it. To do so, and if you need some more information, look right below this video and you'll see this write-up. It's my Super Trader system. I do charge $250 for it. I teach how to trade the flow of the market. If you don't learn this, you will never succeed. My Super Trader has well over 4 gigabytes of training, and you'll get an exact copy of my system on your MT4 platform. Now it comes with 5 MT4 templates, 12 custom indicators, and my favorite meter. Threw in a lot of PDF books, a lot of Word documents, and 9 bonus videos. Now there's a lot of ways to trade, and I do teach a lot of ways, so that's why there's 45 training videos. And my number one way of trading is called a great way to trade. An example on the right side here. It's I've seen better looking ones, but nonetheless, this still qualified for a great way to trade. And another video that I've done, the one in red here, how to back test using the trading simulator. Now you can put this video on pause, read all the different ways that I'm teaching. If you have any questions at all, pick up the phone and call me. Here's my number. And if you live too far, easy, just send me an email. Remember, there's an underscore right here. Now I do prefer Skype. Quite simple. All you got to do is click on this link and we will have a Skype connection. And through Skype screen sharing, I'll give you a free session and I'll answer your questions. I'll include some free tips and tricks, and like I said, I do all of that with no obligation to you. Now if you click on this link right here, you'll see 35 screenshots of all the trigger systems I've been building over the years. Just about wraps up this video. And of course, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So until the next trading day, good luck with your trading, and remember to keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, bye for now.